Hi, all. Goddess Renata here. Open Intuitive Circle Wednesday at Crystal Spirit Spiritual Center. I'm here every Wednesday from pretty much 10 until 6. And I decided I started doing this Open Intuitive Circle a few months ago, and I'm kind of hit and miss on it. I'm still developing it. But how many of us feel like we need to have it all together before we step out and do anything? How many of us feel like we have to have it all together before we step out and do anything? I feel like that's the question for today. And I didn't invite any people. I have a few people, my favorite people that I invite for audience, like my friend Jane Bath and Maria Morris, my husband George, a few of my other friends. I invite them just so I can have a conversation with people. But, really being part of the collective, being part of the collective, I feel like it's easy to have a conversation with everybody at any time. That shared humility that we've got going on together, that shared humility. So when I'm having a challenge with something, someone else out there in the collective is just coming up to that challenge point, about ready to cross over the bridge from that challenge point. And I think that's a fabulous thing. So I used to have a challenging time. There's that word challenging. I used to have a challenging time with marketing myself. Like, what do I tell people that I do? And then I would have like a smart ass answer, like, well, I don't do anything but be me. Well, that's kind of all of us. But I have over time fine tuned my skill and ability to chat with people, to connect with people, to relate to them, to understand them without having to walk a mile in their shoes, just to listen and then to feel and then to share what comes out. And I don't know, maybe it was last week, maybe it was yesterday, it was probably last week though, about this idea of marketing myself and calling myself something and saying what I do when people ask me, what do I do? I'm into human ease. Human ease. Some of us are into human struggle. I'm into human ease. And I'm not trying to make light of anything, although I say make light of everything so you can see clearly. So you can see clearly what you're not. Let those heavy definitions that we hold about ourselves float away. Those heavy definitions, let them float away. I had a first time client today that I'm doing some, a little more long term mentoring with. And we spent a couple of hours today just sharing, hearing. My baseline when I work with clients is using numerology. So I'll send the numerology report to them and I tell them to take some time and go over it. And then I shed some light on the four core numbers. And I'm just going to share that with you now, like kind of what I do, because that brings me full circle with the topic of how many of us feel we have to have it all together before we get out there and share our light, to share our story, to share our truth, to share some of the wisdom. Learned wisdom is earned wisdom. Ooh, and I've got like a weird little tweak in my bang. Let me fix it. Because I'm talking to you. I feel like I'm just talking to myself the whole time, but I'm really talking to you out there. It's kind of a cool thing, isn't it? We're all connected. Those of us that are here on this side, fully embodied, are able to share with others that are on this side, fully embodied. I call that the new communing. I'll get to that topic about how many of us really like waylay our brightness, our lightness, our laughter, our levity, our seriousness, our strategy, our integration. How many of us actually do that on a daily basis? And when I say daily basis, I mean 24/7. So that's like every day, 365, every day of every year, sharing your truth. All right. So I got a lot of you. How many of you are listening thought, I don't have my truth together yet. I really don't know what's happening. I don't know who I am. I don't know. I have nothing to share. I have no value. That's a lot of that carrot dangling that I feel has been going on for a long time in many communities, the spiritual community, the metaphysical community, the religious community, the communities that don't want to commit that they belong to any community. In that shared humanity, we forget to commune. We forget to commune. We forget to share. We only want to present our best foot. And well, actually, if our best foot has the prettiest shoe on it, if our right side is the prettiest side, if our arm on this side is the best side that we show people, then I'm all about the pose. Please pose and take whatever it is that you've got in your nose out of your nose. But there's nothing wrong with learning how to work the visual. There's nothing wrong with learning how to commune and to connect and use all the senses. My mentor William used to say the seventh sense. He's on the other side now, so I can't really ask him what he meant by the seventh sense. But as I sit with it, I kind of get what the seventh sense is. We have the six senses, and the seventh sense is the integration of all the senses, which makes it be a new sense. Maybe common sense needs to be uncommon sense, and it's like the seventh sense. This dates me a little bit, but The Sixth Sense, that movie with Bruce Willis in it, it was a while ago. It was a while ago. But you know what? I did not catch that Bruce was dead in the movie until like the very end. These days, I'm a lot quicker on the uptake. I've learned how to I've learned how to read a room really good. And you know, I always say what comes to you and you move it through you is your job, your purpose to transmute it. That's our gift to the collective. Yeah, of course. Of course, there's that. So you hand out the ticket like it's a buffet. The life is a buffet, right? Life is a buffet. You can pick what you like. So we all come in with the ticket to the buffet and we can like go and partake just one thing and gorge yourself on that one thing. Or this buffet's got 50 different items on it. Maybe it's got 100 different items and we can like test each one of them. I'll tell you this, not only am I a kind of a poser, I like to partake of most of the items. So if there's 100, I'll probably partake of 98 of them. So has gone my life. So when I used to figure that my strife was just strife for strife purpose, now I know no, there's some life experience in that. And everybody is not going to want to connect with my life experience. True that. Nor is everybody, or nor do they need to connect with your life experience. It feels like for the collective, what we each want to do is just to distill our wisdom down. Like when you're making a good gravy, you take the drippings from the pan. I use arrowroot now instead of flour, but you know, arrowroot flour, coconut flour, whichever, some cold water, pour that in the drippings and mush that around with the fork. Maybe you might use your finger. It's kind of hot there. It's kind of hot. But how often have we been told, don't touch that, like when we were little and we did anyhow and burnt our finger like, ow. But now we know as we're making that gravy, that good gravy from the pan drippings, stir it around, turn on low, let it simmer. Then you just take it off. And when everybody sits down for that turkey or that ham or whatever that is, that gravy, that glaze that goes over those potatoes or that meat, they're going to turn to you like they turn to me, like, Mimi, this is really good. So not only have I and we learned to read the room, we can make a really good gravy, you know, and we can pour it over something and make it taste even better. I mean, that's the journey of a storyteller. That's the journey I feel of a, you know, a new earth mentor, as I call myself. I mean, that feels like the journey of someone that wants to specialize in human ease. You put that special sauce over that, and it's like, ooh, that's really good. Enjoy your stew of life. I suppose that's the message. Let's not be trying to take all the parts out and decide how come this stew is so good. Can we just enjoy the stew because it's good? Can we just enjoy it because it's tasty? Can we just enjoy it because it satisfies the tummy? Yum, 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 I got love in my tummy. Da, 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 da. I always have some ditty for some song that's running through my atoms and cells, and I don't know where that stuff comes from. But when it comes in, I just share it out. I know some of you can finish those words of that song for me. So we've all become really adept at reading the room, making a hellacious gravy from the drippings, and then waiting for the right moment when everybody sits down and they're really hungry and they're ready to be served, and you pour that good gravy over that. And they turn to you and say, "Oh, thank you." They share and they shower their appreciation on you, like they're really digging what you created. We had our granddaughter over for dinner and spend the night. Maybe it was last month, maybe it was a couple months ago. And I made some Cornish hens and I made a dressing. And I did just that. I made a nice dripping gravy. And when all of us sat down, our little Bella was like, well, she's not little, she's like 26, but she's a cute little person. She said, "Ooh, Mimi, this is really good. Thank you." I can still serve up that feeling, that connection with her. And even though it was a while ago, like, "Ooh, Mimi, that was really good. Thank you. I appreciate you." So, really, what I'm suggesting is let's not be waiting till we know how to read the room perfectly. And let's not wait to invite people over for dinner until we know how to make that perfect gravy that we're going to pour over that perfect meal. Heck, let's just go get some cans of something in the pantry and something that was left over in the freezer and take it out and put it in the crock pot, and turn that crock pot on and put some spices in it and know that's going to be a good stew because that's just how you roll. My intention to create human ease, it comes out in my ability to get you to laugh at yourself. Even better yet, when you can laugh at me. Better yet, we can both laugh at me and then we can laugh at thee. And we can laugh at each other. We created a whole nother energy. When we have reservations about who we be and how we are, that not only blocks my flow, your flow, but it blocks the entire flow that's building up the trajectory of love that's ready to flow out of our hearts. That earned wisdom that has come from learned wisdom, that ability to commune with people using all seven senses plus, and to really honor that our value to ourselves and our value to the collective is invaluable. Like you can't put a dollar amount on it, but you could put a whole lot of love amount on it, like a whole lot of love on it, and intend for that to ripple out to create human ease, to create more love, more joy, more grace. I always feel like I have to follow that up with I'm not being Pollyanna esque, overly nice with the light, because it's not that way. The wake up for all of us is different. But once you receive your ticket to the buffet of life, I suggest you try more than just one dish. You might even want to go to another place where they have a better buffet. Who's to say the ticket that you got to the buffet of life is the only buffet of life being served? I'm going to step out on that limb and then I'm going to kind of dive off of that too with this. It's like the buffet of life is everywhere. Like, what are you adding to it to spice it up? What are you creating to make it, a more vast buffet of experiences? What are your 24/7, 24/7? I said that right? What are your 24/7, 365, give or take a year, thoughts? What kind of conversation do you have going on with you? How are you communing with your seven senses and beyond? How are you being heard physically, energetically? How is your speech the tsunami that opens up the floodgate of love? Ooh, that was good. I'm glad I take these transcripts and go back and write little things down. That's a nice inner wisdom saying, isn't it? How are you taking that tsunami of love and redirecting it? Woohoo, goddess. Let's go ahead and pull a couple cards and see what we got going on for the collective. You know, let's go and pull a couple of inner wisdom, daily inner wisdom sayings, goddess daily inner wisdom sayings, things that go through my head and heart all the time, and I just share them with you. Let me go ahead and pull. I separated them out into categories. So I've got, I'm not going to do that now with you. I'm just going to go ahead and do two piles, two piles, two piles. We got this one. Okay, there's that one. Put that back. I'm just going to do this real quick because we set an intention. We're talking about how often do all of us wait until we feel like we've got it all together. Our resume is like spotless. You know, we've dotted each I and crossed each T, and we can account for each moment, when we weren't present, what happened with that job, and where'd you go here, and all that. I think sometimes when we course correct, we can course correct and like end up in the wrong direction. We mean to go north, but we're like heading south because we course corrected almost 365 degrees. Maybe that's necessary. Maybe it's not. I like the middle road with a lot of things these days. Okay, I got three there. Let's go ahead and do a number card with that as well. A number card, a number card. Okay, we got a number card too. And then do we have a saying as well. We got a couple sayings. So we have like three different decks here that we're pulling from. And I started creating these daily inner wisdom sayings, these little writings, just because my mentor William like told me, just keep writing. So that was back like in 2018, 2019, I started writing in my journals. And then he said to me, and don't really worry about what you're going to do with it. Meaning there's that lesson again, right? Don't wait till you have it all like set up perfectly and your book is published and your oracle cards are out there, before you start writing. You don't need to have the plan in place. Just keep writing. That's what he said. Okay, so there we go. These last cards that I pulled, the God Mints one, I had to do a presentation at a church. And with the church thing, I'm kind of like this, even though it was a spiritualist church, I just don't have any of that dogma or religiosity in me. I incarnated into a family where I was not forced to go to church or be religious or any of that. So I was not at all. And I'm not an atheist. I'm not an agnostic. I'm Goddess Renata. I believe in love infinite. I believe that we can reduce our own personal struggle, and therefore we become the present that people unwrap from our presence. What is our present? Clarity. The idea of loving the good, bad, and ugly, and all in between of yourself, to have met yourself on all levels, to embrace it and said, I love you, you're good. That's kind of it for me. And at 68, I feel like that's good. I'm going to go with that. Let's pull up this first one, which is my God mints, because I had just a thing about the religiosity and my God mints, all the acronyms for GOD. This one is Great on Demand. So let's act like we have a little Netflix spirituality in our console, and we can just take that out and go click. Great on demand, grace on demand, greet on demand, gratitude on demand, grief on demand. We can bring up that situation, whatever it is, and we can look at it, meet it, and embrace it to erase it. Embrace it to erase it. So great on demand, groovy on demand, grace on demand, grief on demand. We can meet it, greet it, embrace it, and erase it, dissolve it. All right, what's another one? Oh, love, my acronym for love. Living one's values extensively. I have a lot of mutability in my astrological chart. And I tend to be like a little bit of a piss ass. I was the one that would bring the apple to the teacher. I wanted everybody to like me. So I spent a lot of my life pleasing others first and then being a little pissy about it after. Come full circle, there was some valuable stuff in there. You don't have to please anybody. And sometimes you don't even please yourself. Honor it, embrace it, and then let it go. So my acronym for love, only, living one's values exclusively, or living only valuable experiences. Both of those work. Living only valuable experiences. Everything you've done up to this point is valuable. Doesn't matter that you can't actually articulate what that is at this moment. Keep living, keep loving, and those things that have stumped you will become clear. What's our other card? Choose to move toward the sweetness in your life rather than the bitter taste left behind in waste. Okay, so that really speaks to not wait until you feel like you've got it all together based on other people's standards and then share your light, then share what you're all about, then share some of your cool stuff, then start communing with the collective. What this says is choose to move toward the sweetness of your life, choose to move toward the sweetness of your life rather than the bitter taste left behind in waste. So there's that choose thing. I mean, we can choose to wait. We can choose to wait until we feel like we've got like a delegation and we've got it like all together. There's a parade, we got a float, job well done, we got the gold watch, and then they'll step out there and shine. It's a potential strategy. But I say just go for it. What else we got? So know that all of your experiences are valuable, living only valuable experiences, and you can choose to move toward the sweetness and you can kind of make it up a little bit. That's what the thing about kids is so great. It can be a truism for you, something you would like to see happen. And just like I like to pose for the camera, oh, won't you smile for the camera? I know you will, Peg. Hey, it'll come back to you. I say, hey, it'll come through to you. And keep smiling, and this too shall pass. All right, we got something else here to say, I know, because we got one more card. A mindset is like a cave, loaded with dynamite, ready to explode. A mindset is like a cave, loaded with dynamite, ready to explode. So sometimes if we wait too long and get our mind too set, we just explode and we don't even get to share or commune with the collective. So as Madonna said, strike a pose. and go with your best nose. All right. This is Goddess Renata. I actually look forward. I look forward to coming in and sharing with me and then sharing with thee out there and knowing that we're all on the same page. It's pretty cool. Great time to be alive. And it's a great time just to kick out some old beliefs and some old ways of being. And you'll be supported in so many ways as you just allow that old cruddy stuff just to fall away. You know, let it fall away. Go play in a new way. If you go and kick the cruddy stuff around, we could be like, instead of kick the ball, kick the cruddy stuff. Sometimes we need to like flush the cruddy stuff down the toilet. Sometimes we need to soak in the bathtub and then take that cruddy stuff and just wash it down the drain. I'm doing my best to make light of it can be a challenge to let go of stuff that's been on you for such a long time. You know, like white on rice, right? Like a blade of grass. Like, how do you change that? You can buy some jasmine rice. They have some exotic black rice too. And a blade of grass could be like, don't plant any grass. When you're through, your awareness, your awareness of the situation and that you can articulate, you can step outside and look at it and go, oh, yeah, I used to be there. While the remnants of that are still around me, I'm different on the inside. You got to claim that differentiation on the inside. You got to claim that integration on the inside. You got to claim that embrace to erase on the inside. You got to claim that. That's your choice. That's your new ticket to the new buffet. That's it, really. I mean, we can make it more complicated. Totally can make it more complicated. We can dive deep into the complication. We can go around the corner. We can drive to the next interstate with the complication. You know, we can even set up residence in a new state with the complication. You get where I'm going with that, don't you? We can take our complications wherever we go, or we can open the door and allow them to leave on their own. And that is how we're being supported now. You open the door, that's the heart thing. And you're in between it and you watch and you're like, oh, you mean bye now? Bye now. And you mean I'm not welcome back? No, there's nothing here for you to stick to any longer. I believe that's how human ease happens. I believe that's how human ease happens. You allow, you take the key, you open the door, and you say, it was nice to see you. Have a nice journey. Well, this is Goddess Renata. I love connecting with you. I'm looking forward to my daily inner wisdom sayings coming out really soon. Definitely by this summertime. I don't know. I'm going to say June. I'm feeling overly optimistic about the whole process. More ways to share, more ways to dare, more ways for you to take up the challenge of being your absolute best and not waiting until you feel like you've got it all together before you go out and share. We can all kind of do that one. We can present the perfect resume. We can put on the perfect mask. We can we can strike the pose. We can take the perfect picture. But we're divinely inspired, imperfected, perfect beings, and we don't have to overcorrect to be there. Just do you. Be you. This is Goddess Renata. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I got to take my Pivo out of the little thing here. And you can see three of me here. There we are. I still have that hat. I got that down in Mexico. It's the fun hat. I don't own that hair anymore under the hat, but that smile, still here, still there, still here. All right. I'll see you next week. Let me go ahead and end this, but let me stop the recording.